A Halloween prank turned deadly. The murder of Karl Jackson. Halloween night in the Bronx is typically filled with costumes, candy, and innocent pranks. But in 1998, a harmless tradition took a tragic and violent turn, leading to the senseless murder of 21-year-old Karl Jackson. What began as an egg-throwing prank ended with a young man losing his life, leaving his family and community forever changed. Karl Jackson was a quiet, hard-working man from the Bronx, known for his kindness and dedication to his family. At 21 years old, he worked as a data entry clerk and spent much of his free time with his loved ones. Karl wasn't the type to seek out conflict. He simply wanted to enjoy life and protect those he cared about. On Halloween night in 1998, Karl planned to spend the evening with his girlfriend, driving through the Bronx and taking in the festive atmosphere. But what should have been a peaceful night out quickly turned into a nightmare. As Karl and his girlfriend drove through the streets, a group of teenagers targeted their vehicle in an egg-throwing prank, a common, though often annoying, Halloween tradition. The prank, however, didn't sit well with Karl. Frustrated and wanting to defend his girlfriend, he decided to confront the teenagers about their actions. Karl's decision to step out and confront the pranksters would turn out to be a fatal one. Among the teenagers was 17-year-old Curtis Sterling, a young man with a troubled past. Sterling, already carrying a gun, was not in the mood for a simple confrontation. What should have been a minor dispute quickly escalated into violence. In a fit of rage, Curtis Sterling pulled out a .357 Magnum and fired a single deadly shot. The bullet struck Karl Jackson in the head while he sat back in his car. The 21-year-old had no chance to escape. In an instant, a young life filled with promise was stolen over something as trivial as a prank. Police arrived at the scene to find Karl Jackson slumped in the driver's seat, with his girlfriend by his side, traumatized and in shock. Halloween decorations hung in the background, adding to the surreal nature of the tragedy that had just unfolded. A community already plagued by violence now had one more senseless death to mourn. Curtis Sterling, the 17-year-old responsible for pulling the trigger, was quickly arrested and charged with murder. His name, once withheld due to his age, was eventually revealed as he faced trial as an adult. Prosecutors argued that the murder was a cold-blooded execution over a minor confrontation. Sterling, who had a history of behavioral problems and criminal activity, showed little remorse for his actions. During the trial, Karl Jackson's family spoke of the unimaginable pain they felt. A mother had lost her son, a girlfriend had lost her partner, and the community had lost another young man to senseless violence. The courtroom was filled with grief and anger as they sought justice for Karl. In the end, Curtis Sterling was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to a lengthy prison term. His life, too, was altered forever, though by his own hand. A young man who could have made different choices instead chose violence, and now he would spend the majority of his life behind bars. Karl Jackson's murder serves as a heartbreaking reminder of how quickly things can escalate, how a single moment of anger, a split-second decision, can end a life. For Karl's family, Halloween will never be the same. What should have been a night of fun turned into a yearly reminder of the worst night of their lives. To this day, Karl Jackson's story stands as a symbol of the senselessness of gun violence. In a world where confrontations can turn deadly, we are left to wonder, what if Karl had simply driven away? What if the teenagers had stopped with the eggs? But in the end, the reality is that a young man was taken too soon, and no amount of wondering can bring him back. Please take a moment to honor Karl Jackson's memory by reflecting on the importance of making choices that value life. And remember, sometimes the scariest things on Halloween aren't the ghosts or ghouls, but the real-life consequences of anger and violence. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.